Greetings, everybody. Greetings. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Igama lami uSphelele Xulu. If you are new here, you are welcome. And if you are returning subscriber, muntu wami, nginthanda kakhulu. Guys, just like I said, if you are new here, please don't leave without subscribing, and please like, share, and comment, and click that notification bell so that when I drop another video, you'll be notified. Yes, let's go straight to the video. You've already seen the title. I am just coming here to share my experiences with roommates. Why is it important for me to actually even come here and talk about my experience with roommates? Is because I also want to give the tips for my students as well as some parents, because if you have never stayed with anyone, I don't think that you will be able to understand why do I think that I qualify to actually come and share about this topic. Is because I'm working at the residence and I've seen things happening year in and out, people having a lot of conflict or misunderstanding, or just young people generally themselves, they always have their own dissatisfaction with the roommates. Why is it important for you to actually be at ease with your roommates? It's on the basis that if you look at it in a bigger picture, think about it. If your perspective is different from what I'm thinking right now, you are more than welcome to actually share what do you think, because as much as I believe that I am qualified to actually talk about this topic, probably it can also help me and help everyone else who probably can click on this video and learn more about this topic. If you have a different view, you are more than welcome to actually comment on the comment section so that I can also learn and also improve what I know already. Okay, basically, maybe I'm gonna start by talking about my experience. I actually had an opportunity to have 4 stages where I had roommates. The first one, it was 2 sisters while I was staying with my sister. And then the second part, I was staying with an associate. I can't say she was my friend, but it's someone that I knew that I was staying with while I was still a student. And then when she gone, which I'm gonna take you through the process, and then I also stayed with 2 students. One of the students was not studying in the same university where I was studying, and then the other one was studying, but was actually someone that I didn't know before. But because there were different reasons why I was staying with different people in different stages. And then when I came to Pretoria, I stayed with a student while I was working. So I'm gonna share different stages on how did I stay with who, what is it, what were the pros, what are the cons, what are the lessons that I learned through all these different stages and different people that I stayed with. Now, okay, when I was studying at the university, which is Technical Free State, or it's now CUT. It was not a university, it was a technicon at the time, but now it's the University of Technology, which is Central University of Technology. I studied there, and I was staying with my sister in my first year. I was staying in a flat called Willows, staying with my sister, which was a 2-bedroom, where there was our bedroom, and the 2 sisters were also staying in a different bedroom, and then we were sharing the kitchen, common areas such as your bathrooms, your kitchen. So what can I tell about that experience when I was staying with those 2 sisters? Okay, maybe the plus, or what I liked, is that the fact that they were studying in the same course that I was also studying at that time, which was human resources management at the time. So I was staying with them. 4 of us were in the same course. My sister was in the next level, and the 2 sisters, one of the sisters was also doing the same course, but he was having some subject who were on the second level, and then the other one was actually on the and the other courses or the subjects were on the first level. Yeah, something like that. And the other one he was actually a second year but being a first year. When I say second year being a first year, it means like she studied the whole year the previous year, but she never passed any of those courses. So he was studying afresh, just like me, who was just coming from Kwakwa branch. But I also had some of the subjects that I were already in the second year, and then some were on the first years. I hope you understand. So that was a plus, because some of the things that I didn't understand, I knew where to go. My sister was there, and the other sister also could help with maybe old question papers, old books. You understand what I'm talking about. But it was a plus for me that we were studying the same course, so we could share the books, share the knowledge, understand the assignment, and be able to work together. Okay, coming to the two sisters, the plus again, it was the fact that the two sisters were almost the same age as me. The other one was exactly the same age as me, and the older one was actually a year older than me. So we're more or less peers. So it was nice at least to talk to them without me always having to go back and talk to my sister. So I had that advantage to talk to them. So I loved having them, because at least if I wanted to share something or talk about something that I could not talk to my sister about, so at least they were there for that. And then the only problem, or most of the challenges, came through because these two sisters were moody and sometimes they were grumpy. But maybe now I understand, now that I'm in Herbalife, now I understand that if you don't have a breakfast, you get grumpy, even if it was not your plan, but you end up being grumpy because you didn't have the best or the most important meal of the day. So they were grumpy, they were moody. You wake up today, they don't speak. The following day they speak, they are excited, they are happy. The following day is mina nje being sphelele xulu, because mina I'm not person with who's moody. I'm always having the same personality every day. So if you are happy, I'm happy. If you are angry, I ignore. If you are happy, it's as if you have never been grumpy or moody to me. I'm just like that. So those are if I said there are pros and cons, maybe the cons is that they will sometimes wake up grumpy and moody. The worst, it was that they were very clumsy. They were very clumsy. They didn't care. They would not change their your bedding, your clothes. They would wear the same clothes. They don't wash. When you get into their bedroom, it was just a mess. I didn't like that, and my sister was very, very upset about that part. We will sit and talk, have meetings about how can we solve this and so forth, but they just did not. I think they just grew up, and that thing that they have, being clumsy, it has been something that they grew up with, and they didn't see anything wrong. They were just thinking like, what is the fuss? Why we must wash ourselves now and again? Why must we do this? So all I'm saying is that they were clumsy, they were not neat, and we were obsessed with cleanliness, me and my sister. So they were not. And some of the things that they used to do with me and my sister, we don't do. We never shared clothes. At home, we never shared clothes. So that's one thing that they used to do. So now they're so used to share clothes. So sometimes they wanted to share our clothes. And especially me, Mina, if I borrow you a jersey, I'll never wear that jersey again. So unfortunately, but they will take some of my clothes without my permission. As soon as you take my clothes without my permission, I give it to you. I'm never gonna wear it. I don't like it. Even if you bring it and apologize, I'm just not gonna wear it again. So those are the things. When it comes to cooking, they just didn't know how to cook. They will tell you, oh, I have this recipe, I'm going to cook, and then you're going to be blown away. Nothing that was tasty that they have ever cooked. I never enjoyed their meal. Maybe it's because, another thing, I love the taste of my food. So for me, to impress me with food is very difficult, because I love the taste of my own food. But when it comes to food, no, I shame. But I'm still gonna go back and tell you why did I came to this, and I'm gonna share the lessons, and I'm also going to share the tips on certain things regarding to what I didn't like with my first ever roommate, which they were sisters. Ne? Okay, and then unfortunately, then my sister finished studying, and then now we went to stay in a different flat. So when my sister finished studying, then we were staying with I then had to look for a roommate so that we could share the rent. We were staying in a flat which was called Chester Hill in Bloemfontein, and then we were staying together with my associate. That one is not a friend. Associate is an associate because we're studying the same course, but we're never friends. But we also never, maybe, I don't know, I can't say we were sisters, but I'm just thinking that it was just an associate that we had a good relationship with. I can't say she was my friend, but we stayed with I stayed with this lady. Almost everything was spot on between me and her. We understood each other. I think it only got bad at the end, but I'm gonna share exactly why did it got bad at the end. Okay, firstly, when it comes to cooking, spot on. I could taste her food. The food was nice, it was eatable, and it was nice. When it comes to studying, even in class, we were not competing. We are almost the same level when it comes to studies. When we find that if I get 85, she gets 80. If I get 80, she gets 83, something like that. So there was no competition. We were just so happy to stay together and studying together, almost share notes together. There was just no problem. The only thing that maybe I can mention is that we had different interests. She was not a person who's like liking to do extramurals. She would like go to class, go to library, go home, cook. It was just it was just the same program for her, just to do the same thing over and over. With me, I used to play netball. I was doing drama. I was also going to gym, doing all these nonsensical things that you can think about that I used to do as a student. But she was just not in those. She didn't have that interest. But one thing for sure, because we were very close, as much as we were not friends, but we were close. I remember there was a time when I would be probably going to perform. She would come and support me when I'm performing, and yeah, it was just nice to stay with her. The other thing that I realized is that our personalities never clashed. As much as she was an introvert and I was an extrovert, we never had clashes. Can I just have a sip on my tea, guys, while I'm still speaking? Okay, so she was an introvert and I was an extrovert, but it did not clash. We were just understanding each other. I was Papa. I am cool. I am down. I'm not loud. Sphelly is loud and. When it comes to cleaning, spot on. I think there's the only thing that I can mention is that, which is not a problem to me, and it was never a problem to her as well. Me, myself, when I pack my wardrobe, I pack according to colors. I iron my clothes and put them in a wardrobe in a specific order. If it's t-shirts and they are white, they are all gonna stay in the same. I think it's because I got that experience when I was working with my late aunt at my ladies, when I started learning about the packing of stuff, where the jeans are staying, which color and so forth. I think I started learning those things when I was working at my ladies. So since then, even today, my wardrobe is still like that. If you come into my wardrobe, you can open it. I'm not scared that things are gonna start falling or whatever. I am still just like that. That's the only difference, is because she would just pack her clothes, but with not she was not like me. She was just not like me. But most of the thing were spot on. We were almost like the same people. Then when it comes to cleaning, then she was clean. I was also clean, so we were compatible. The only which was good for us, she loved doing the laundry, to wash the clothes, and I love ironing the clothes. So it was easy for us. We knew that on Saturday morning we wake up, she would be washing the clothes, I will be doing the spring cleaning, and then when the clothes, then we have time to rest in between while the clothes are busy drying on the outside. Okay, what am I saying? Okay, outside. when the clothes are drying, and then we will be waiting up until the clothes get dry. Oh yes, I think that's a good English. I think so. But anyway, and then after that, later on, when the clothes are dry, then I'll start ironing. And then she will be cooking. At the time that I'm ironing, she'll be cooking. So that was what we were doing every Saturday. We wake up, she wash, I clean. And then when we are still waiting for the clothes to dry, and then she will be, then I will be, then when I'm ironing, she would be then cooking. So that was our routine. I don't know what happened with my lights, but anyway. So I stayed with her. The only thing that made us not to stay together at the end is because of the third party, which was the boyfriend, a Skellem boyfriend, who decided to ask my roommate to stay with him for that particular period. I think it was the end of the year, so he did not want to pay the rent, so he wanted to share the rent with my roommate. So I had to pay a full rent for that month. But we had a good time with my roommate. Then the following year, when now I was doing my BTech, I then had to stay with the other students. One of the students was doing masters at my university. I was doing BTech, and my other friend has already left anyway. And this one was not studying in our own university. He was actually studying at UFS, which is the University of Free State, when we were studying at the Technicon Free State. Me and the other one. The other one was doing masters, and then I was doing BTech, and the other one was doing honors at UFS. Let me tell you about these ones. The one who was doing masters, she was always not being around, because they always be in library. They go and do, she was doing a course that he always needed her to do some practicals. So that one, I cannot say much about her. But the other one, she was so sweet. I love her to bits even today. I've never met a person who is sweet as that one, that roommate of mine. But the problem, she could not clean, she could not cook. The cooking was the worst. The cleaning I could tolerate, because I always like cleaning, so I would clean. But she was not a person that would make actually she was clumsy, man. She will, when she comes back, she will take her clothes, put them on the floor. You have to always ngesizulu bathi hey umuntu uyamphipha bengimphipha shem yasis, kodwa beka sweet, man. She was so sweet. And then the worst part, if I can remember one day that I would never forget, I was playing netball at the university, and the netball we were playing in the evening, so at night. Our games were at night, so even our practice were in the evening. So after classes, you go and play, or you have to practice, or there's a tournament, and then we are playing at night. So trust me, when you are playing netball or when you are exercising, you get very, very hungry. One day I was okay, we had turns to cook. Today she cooks, I cook the other day, njalo, 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 njalo. So as my previous one. But this one, I sometimes when I'm around, I would rather prefer to cook instead of eating her food, because she could not cook. She didn't know how to cook. Just to make it clear. One day I'm coming from a netball. I'm so super hungry. I played three games that day. I came back very hungry. All I wanted was to bath and have a good warm meal. I got there. Okay, at that time, I was staying far from the university. That flat that I was staying in at the time when I was doing BTech, it was far. Probably it was like almost like the previous one, which was Willows, 3 kilometers if I make, or maybe 2.5 kilometers from the university. It was far, so it's late anyway. At Bloemfontein, we didn't have problems of thieves or people who will rob you on So I was just coming from playing netball. I think I arrived there around 10:30 to 11 after playing those 3 games. So when I arrived, I found the food that was that was ready prepared for me to eat. Trust me, the food was well prepared, like as in it was covered. Then when I opened, shock of my life, it was a rice that you can tell that it was never washed, and you could count it like with your, as if you are cleaning it, as if it has never been boiled. And it had a very well a fried egg on top, and then it also had some gravy. I looked at that meal, I wanted to die. Sorry about that, it was just one of my alarms. Sorry about that, guys. I tell you, at that time, normally most of the areas around that they sell food, they close at 10. There was no time for me to go out and buy food. Guys, I just opened and I wanted to die. But anyway, there was a garage in front of the place that we were staying at. It was called Tide Heights Flats, I think, something like that. I'm gonna put a picture. I can't remember the name of a place exactly, but yeah. But there was an opposite garage. I think I remember I bought myself a pie and the cold drink. I slept with that meal for that night. But anyway, we never fought, nothing happened. There was no fight between the two of us. The lady just didn't know how to cook. She loved cooking, but okay, she loved food, but she didn't know how to make food. But she had no problem except for that thing that I can actually share with you. And then now I moved to Pretoria. I was staying alone. There was a time when I was staying with my niece, but I'm not gonna be sharing more about that. I was staying with my niece, and then later on I started staying with, not later on, a year after, then I started staying with another student. That one, it was not me just to try and share a rent, but I think now it makes sense to me why she was kicked out at race. She was kicked out at race. She was not kicked out, but she was excluded because probably she didn't meet the requirements for you coming back to race. Only now it makes sense to me. Oh, that was the reason, because I was not working at race at that time. I was actually working on the other department, which was student life. So I always knew this lady because she was one of the students who was part of my teams, or rather what programs that I was doing in another side of the university. So she was part of that, and I just loved her personality. And you won't believe why I liked her personality. How am I going to even explain this? You know, I've got those people, maybe you'll understand this kind of a personality. There are those people who are beautiful. Okay, not personality per se. Let me explain her first before I go to the personality. You know, there are those ladies that are really beautiful. They have a good body. They have money from home. They are not struggling. They just look good, but they happen not to be liked by so many people. People just don't like them for no reason. Sometimes I've seen that because I'm working at race and I understand those things now. But this lady was just like that. She was beautiful. She had a good body. And she had money. She was dressing very well. She take care of herself, hair, clothes. She was just on another level. Just, she looked beautiful. And students or people at her age, they didn't like her. And it's one of those people that I like, that she said, like, I mean, people don't like me. And she was content with the fact that she's not a person that most people loved her. So I love those students. I love those students who doesn't care that, if you like me, you don't like me. If you do, you do. It's fine. It's okay. So what? And she was not grumpy. So she was just laughing the fact that people didn't like her. So I like those kind of students. So I started staying with her. We didn't have challenges per se, but what I can share is that she was always not around. She had a boyfriend, she was very committed to this boyfriend, and I think I knew her parents. Not that I think, I knew her parents as well, because they knew that she was staying with me, and I was an official at the university, and she probably used to talk about me at home. And even when she was then struggling to get a place, and then she came to me, I was like, it's fine, I can give you a space. We stayed for like 2 years. We started staying at Primula, which is another flat, and then we moved to Alma Dutoit, which is a university flat. This is where the problem started. I had no problem with her, as much as there were other issues that I would once share a story time about, whereby she did something to my other friend. But as call up, we are still talking about just the relationship as roommates. So this time we're staying at Alma Dutoit. When we're staying at Alma Dutoit, let me share. The other thing that I didn't like about her, she would tell me that she doesn't have money, but she will come back. I will then buy groceries, I will do this. And I said, I don't have money, but she will come back with clothes or takeaways, or like she used to have, like she had a different way of doing things. But maybe it's how she grew up. Maybe she just doesn't care, or she doesn't see anything wrong, or she thought, I'm working, so I'm going to be sponsor her with certain things. But she was just doing that over and over, and it's not what we have actually have agreed upon. She will sometimes come with a continental or a new duvet, but she said to me she doesn't have money for food. But she would just have her room looking amazing, or her body looking amazing, or her hair is done. My hair is not done, because now I had to buy grocery for two when I could have just buying for myself. So that's the only thing that I didn't like about her. But we never fought. I don't want to lie, we never fought. The only reason that I just had to let her go, it was on the basis that I don't know what she did to our landlords or the manager of the flats. I don't know what she did, but they just did not get along. And I remember there was a point when that manager said to me, no, I talked to her. I don't know whether she threw the dads, like the rubbish in a wrong place. I don't know what happened, but there was something that was very small thing that we could have solved, but they just didn't get along with my landlord. I even remember that after they have that confrontation together, my landlord came and said, no, you just have, because I was the contracted person to stay in that, so I was staying with her, but I was the one who has contracted for that particular university flat. So then it so happened that I think someone wrote on, I don't know what she wrote, but you know those people who write things on the wall, remarks that are very not a nasty remarks about your manager. Maybe you write a nasty notes on the wall about someone. I don't know what was it, but then my landlord said, you see, this person is her, it's her. I can tell you, even today, I still believe that it's not her, because that was not her handwriting. I still believe it was not her. But just to get to the bottom of it, because she really believes it was her, nobody else could have said that it's my roommate, so she has to leave. That's how my roommate has to leave, but it was not me who made her to leave. It was just my landlord who made her leave. So when I normally, the challenges that I normally face at the university when it comes to the students and the roommates. Firstly, our first year students, when they come in here, stay in my res, they have to stay in double rooms. Whether you have money or you don't, there is just no way that you come here as a first year and then you stay in a single room. Single rooms, you qualify to stay in a single room in my res. Not in my res, but in most of our residences. You just don't come in and stay as a first year in a single room. So most of the problem comes when students in the beginning, they love each other, they understand each other, but there's a time when probably when they get used to the place, then they start having other friends, then they start seeing a lot of different things from their roommates, and then they'll always come to me, no, please change me, change me. I don't change students from their rooms because I believe, personally, it's not a university rule, but I believe that sometimes you think your roommate has a problem, but only to find that maybe you are the one who has a problem. There is no one who has a problem. Maybe a person has a problem, but is not the human being is not a problem, but the human being might have done something which made a problem to you, and vice versa. Same as you who is coming to me complain about the roommate. Maybe even your roommate has a problem with you, but because you think you are in a right path and she's a wrong path, I don't think that is the case. Probably we can solve the problem and we can attack the problem, but there's no reason to attack the human being or the person, because we are not coming from the same background. We're also not being taught by the same parents, and we are also not having the same personalities. So those things are the things that can help you in the future. Why? Because you are going to work and you might be working in an open office. Would you resign at your job because the person who's sitting next door is doing the things that you didn't like with your roommate? It's a question. If you will resign, put it on your comment section. But I believe that for you to stay with someone that you didn't know, coming from a different background, it's another way to learn different personalities, different backgrounds, different interests, and we embrace diversity. Another part that I always share with my student will be, remember that we are at the university now. There is a point, there might be a chance that you might find your Prince Charming here at the university. But maybe your Prince Charming might want to marry you. And then you agree because you love your boyfriend. But when we get married as African, we don't marry our boyfriends, but we marry the whole family. What if for just that reason, that then you are married to your Prince Charming, only to find that now you are staying in the same home whereby you find the very same problems that you saw from your roommate? How are you going to solve that problem? Are you going to divorce your Prince Charming, or are you going to leave and say, Mina, I'm divorcing, I can't do this? For me, staying with someone that you have never met, it's up to you how to solve those small conflicts, because you will never run away from them, because it's gonna teach you how to solve problems. If it's a problem, it can be solved. If it's a circumstance, you can live with it, because no one is perfect in this world. No one is perfect. You must just learn to be patient and be tolerant, because as much as you think that your roommate is bad, what if you are also bad? Okay, another scenario. I ask them, my roommate is doing this, my roommate is doing this, my roommate is doing that. I want to move to another room. The only question I will ask, so are you saying that I must take another student and put another child from another mother and stay with the problematic roommate? Is it fair for me to switch you to stay with a better one and take the other student who was staying in her roommate who never had a problem? Now I'm switched to the person that you personally are telling me this person is a problem. So is this gonna make it better, or we can solve it, or we can find a common ground between the two people. Instead of me taking you to stay with a better person, the person that you consider as a better person, and then I take the other innocent student and put her to the person that you think is a bad person for you. So is this person gonna be better for the other one? No, I don't believe in that. I believe that we can solve all these problems and we can find a common ground. And sometimes it's not going to be the rest of your life, but it's just an experience. And you are going to learn to stay with people or understand different personalities. Sometimes you find the situation whereby students, they don't have a problem, but they have a clash when it comes to personalities or the other. Let me give you a scenario. Sometimes these are the challenges that I normally face. No, my student wake up and switch on the light while I'm sleeping, or they are making noise, or this and this and this. Have you ever sat down with your roommate and agree on the rules that you both are going to agree and abide on those particular rules? No, I haven't. So, but you just decided to come to me, run to me before you can have that situation. I was actually recently thinking that maybe this is the first topic that I will always share as in the beginning of the year, so the students can understand themselves and the different people to live with, so that they can learn to live with other people. So I was about to talk about the different people. If you find that personally, myself, I know for a fact that I am a early bird. I woke up early, I do things early, I'm active in the morning, and blah and blah and blah. And then there are people who are generally a night owl, and their minds are working even better in the evening. They are more creative in the evening. But you can't tell a person that because I can't tell a person that because I'm an early bird, so you must also be an early bird. Even the other person cannot tell me that because he is a night rider and then must also be a night rider. No, we must find a better way to do it, so that I must be comfortable because I'm paying as well. Here you must also be comfortable because you are also paying for the very same room that we are staying in. So we must always you must ask a lot of questions. That is going to help you to understand the person that you are staying with. Where are you from? What kind of school that you went to? Have you ever been in the boarding school? What do you like? What are the things that you don't like? How many siblings do you have? Have you stayed with someone? You ask a lot of questions that are going to help you to be able to understand your roommates. But you know what I would do? I'll actually have a separate video when it has nothing to do with my experience with my own roommates. The next video that I will do, it will be tips on how to face challenges or address challenges with roommates. I'm gonna do a specific video for particular that, so that I can have my student in the beginning of the year. I'm gonna share it to the students so that they know exactly what I'm talking about. Otherwise, I was just coming here to share about my experience with my roommates. It's nice to live with other people. That's all that I can share with you, because you can learn so much from them. You can also know how to tackle certain challenges, and you can learn so much from them. And thank you so much for watching. I think I'm gonna end it here. Please share, like, and comment and subscribe. Click that notification bell so that when I upload another video, you will be notified. Thank you guys. Goodbye.